Good evening and welcome back to Timberborn. It's time for us to put down some trees and get some bits and pieces going here and maybe work on the water as well. But the first thing we'll do is nothing to do with trees. It's going to be to do with metal. We're going to put in some guys to mine the metal around here. Oh, wrong place. Go there. There we go. Put on. Yeah, so they can get rid of these metal supports up here. We then need to lower this down, which is going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. I also need to move the warehouse here and this as well. I think dirt can be done by moving down here. Not that I really want to add stuff down here because we need to put some more things in, don't we? Because we want to go up to this floor. I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll do this. Let's get rid of this path here. Let's put in some dirt here to refill that in. And then we'll come up and we'll blow up this. We'll just do tunnels for this for the moment. That'll be fine. And then we'll put the dirt storage here, which will make life easier for us in the long run. Yeah, we can move the dirt there. Whoa. And then explosives. Explosives need to come down to here. Where are the explosive factories? Here. So pause a moment. Can I fit any other storages in around here? What's this? This is metal blocks. We could go above the metal blocks, couldn't we? Let's do that. Although explosives need to go into a warehouse, don't they? So I can't put one in here because there's no way I can get it in with the there. So we'll put it. Let's put a large warehouse in. This is all just temporary. When they'll get moved around to whatever floor they need to be on, as and when. Okay, you're going to be for explosives, and then we'll come up to the surface, and we will empty you. We'll empty you as well. Is our thing? It's not running. It's paused. Yeah, cool, awesome. Okay, right. So go. Okay, and then we want to put in some trees. So I think I'm going to do oak around the outside because it's more space around the outside, and then we'll do berries and pine in here and down there, because then the berry collectors can be here and the pine collectors can be. Let's get rid of you for the moment. Pine resin. Berries are the important one. We don't actually have any berries right now, so I really need to get the berries going. Let's go with not Tabernacle. Let's go with the foresters. Let's see here. I've also changed the bridges as well. It was mentioned in the comments. I do still have them open, which makes a nice change. Chaz was saying that these look better, and I agree. And I completely forgot that they were a thing. So we now have bridges going over. So yeah. Right. So we want to put down foresters. Now I could put them, if I push the right button, I could put them sort of there and, oh dear, wrong button, flip there, but then that wouldn't cover the corners. So I think maybe we should put them sort of at every junction, and then they can cover the center as well. I think that would make more sense. So we'll put one. Probably don't need that many of them. The oak doesn't grow all that fast. So if we put 4 in like that. And they should be able to cover everything, and they can also cover the center. And we'll get them doing things like, well, the center won't be done for chopping trees. There'll be no chopping of trees in the center. The chopping area will purely be around the outside, like this. Like that. And then this would all be oak. So let's put oak in. Do you know what? I'm just going to do this. Boom, put oak in, and then we can clear out the center one, like that. We want to put pine in. Go back to daytime so I can actually see what's going on here. We want to put pine in, probably just around the outsides. The pine we only need for treated planks. And you do get a lot of it, especially if we can store a lot. We're not going to do a great deal. So I think in a previous comment, Kaboom mentioned about like putting maybe a fence around the outside of them. But if I do that, I think that'll work better for us. We do, however, need a way down into here for the mangroves. So, yeah. And then berries will be in the center here. And I want to set all of these to be blueberries first. Okay. So if there's anything ever happens to the blueberries, you go around and you plant the blueberries. Then once they're done, I think we'll set them to pine trees and we'll get them to do the pine trees as well. So like that. What we need are woodcutters, which are going to go on the edges. I might put the woodcutters like over here. Put them either side of the... we could put them on the corners as well. We could replace these with woodcutters on every corner. The water corner is going to be a unique thing in each place, but we could put them like opposite each one. I'm not sure how many woodcutters I'm going to exactly need. How about we just stick 4 in for the time being, directly opposite the paths, like that. They can reach everywhere, and we'll add more as and when we need to. Like maybe we'll do 2 here. In fact, you know what? Let's do 2 here. Let's do 2 here as well. So they'll be on each corner. Oops. And at the path. So there'll be 2 there. So there's 3 on that corner, 3 on that corner, 3 on that corner. There'll be 3 on this corner as well. But I don't know where I'm going to put that one because this is going to be a unique sort of thing here. So we'll have to figure that out. We'll have to figure that one out. That'll be fine. That should chop down enough trees for us there. So I'm going to actually set these guys here to be, well, not right now. Not right now. We won't set them to be demolished. We'll do that in a moment. Gatherer flags. Maybe in the centers like this. Like that. I think that might not be a bad idea. Put them there. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that, and then you can gather, and then everything will basically just go downstairs because all the log storage, all the bits pieces are all downstairs here. We should have enough haulers which will come up and empty the lumberjack flags for whatever they need to. So, yeah, I think that'll work. I'm going to prioritize this gatherer flag as a construction site so we can grab some things here. We don't have any berry storage though. I don't have any berry storage, which we should really get. Because these need berries and they're struggling to get the berries. So this might become berry storage instead of explosives. Possibly, maybe. I'm not sure. We are running very low on wood as well. I think for now the berries can deal with just being in the gatherer flags. Yeah. Okay, so we'll leave that there and that'll be fine. Water is one that I keep changing my mind on what I'm going to do with it. Not because I just keep having different ideas of how it's going to work and how it's going to go. A lot of people keep saying about the sluices for the bad tide should be at the bottom to let the bad tide out. The problem to that is that bad tide would always mix with the water above and below it. So they let the bad tide out and it mixes with the water above it. So the bad tide's being let out down here. It's mixing with the water above it, so that's becoming bad tides as well. A bit of bad tide with it. Then the good water comes in again, and that just mixes. And then every time a bad tide comes along, it mixes more and more and more because the outlet's only at the bottom and the water's pushing the bad tide up. So eventually the thing will fill with contamination. If I have the outlet at the top, yes, the whole thing does fill with contamination every time a bad tide happens. But then as soon as a good tide happens, within 1 day, not even a day, less than a day, it pushes all of that out the top and out and away. So that's why I don't want any sluices at the bottom to let the bad tide out. I want them at the top to flush the whole system every time, so it's pure water every time. I kind of had an idea of what if I came in and I made a square box here, which I know sounds a bit weird. Maybe not even out of maybe just out of dirt. We'll just do a square box out of dirt, or a round box. We'll do the shape it is right now, kind of out of dirt, all the way along. So we'll actually come down here and blow up this and make it wider all the way down. And then at each floor here, we'll seal it off and have a little hole in the center, which goes up. And in the center of that, we have a levee, which is only going to be one hole large, one hole. So it will just be, it'll have, the levee will be like that. And have one hole coming up in the center. And then on each floor, we have a sluice, which lets the good water out and fills that tank for each individual floor. And then that tank is responsible for each floor. And then right at the top here, we have a tank which will be the same height as the rest of the floors are. And then at the top of that hole, it has an outlet for the bad water. So each floor has an individual tank of water, which is still making the grass green around it because it will be a dirt tank. It will basically be what it is now. It'll be the same size as it is now. We'll just blow out the center there. And then we just put a tube in the center, basically going all the way up. So, yeah, I think that's going to be probably one of the best ways of doing it. So, okay, so that's the lumberjacks. We want to leave those alone. We'll pause the lumberjack flags for the moment. Actually, there's no point in having them running. You're actually chopping down trees over there, so you're happy. Chop down, stop you as well. I think that's one of the things where I just need to make a decision and do it, and then you'll see what I mean. Because I'm trying to explain things, and it's not showing it instead. So yeah, but we are getting berries planted, which is the important thing here. So we need to get rid of some of this other infrastructure in the centre here, and we need to move the underground ruins down. So maybe we should tackle that next. We're getting the berries in. You're coming and planting all the berries. We'll do that. Then once you plant all the berries, I shall switch over to doing pine trees to plant the pine trees, and then once you've done the pine trees, we'll switch you back to berries. But there will be no berries to plant. So the reason I want them on the blueberries is that if something happens for whatever reason and the blueberries die, I want them to be replanted as soon as possible. So yeah. Okay. So let's go down to here. Beautiful. Look at this. We've got a lovely thing on here. I have messed up the whole thing here completely, but we want to blow out this and put this in at here. So I need to fill in this lower floor, like all the way. So let's get rid of this. Let's come over here. Oof. And let's delete everything here. And then everything here. Oh no. What's that gonna... Wait a minute. Oh, because that's a pathway down, isn't it? Oops. So we want to delete everything there. Yes. Then we want to fill this all with dirt, with the exception of this one power shaft going down to level 0. So fill this all with dirt. Oh, there you go. Because this is actually the where we want the floor to be, not here. This one. And then I'm going to come in here and try and remove some of these, but I don't know how successful I'm going to be with this. Oh, yeah, no, we're fine. Excellent. And then we're going to put in a path which connects to there, a power thing in here which connects to that one, which means I need to get rid of that power shaft actually, and I need to replace it with a it's called a vertical power shaft. That's weird. I never realised it was called a vertical power shaft. It still connects to anything anyway, but yeah, I didn't know it was called a vertical power shaft. That threw me off for a moment there. I was like, hang on, have I got the wrong thing? No, you haven't. You've got the right thing. It's just a little deceiving. And then across the way from it, we put a storage in, which is going to be for the dirt. Oh, there you go. Okay. Cool. Right, so you have to come out around here and come back in. So that's yeah, but that's okay. So that does that there. We need to get rid of this lower point there, but I'd have to destroy the entire ladder system for that. So that one's going to probably just stay there for that. So I want to move this. Okay. Which means I need to build the lower floor, don't we? We need to build this whole lower floor down here to the spec that it is to this here. Sort of. Because we're going to try something different down here. I've messed up this corner, but we'll have to build supports and stuff in to redo that corner there. But right. Let me map out where the columns are. We've got one column listed here, like this here. Let me map out where the columns are going to be, so that we can figure this out. Just the columns. I'm not going to map out like the top half. Just where each column is going to be, because we need to go up to a certain height and then put in some supports. I'm really just not sure whether this is going to work or not, because the overhangs are fantastic, but they still need to spread out. The dirt still needs to spread out, not just lengthways, but it needs to spread out by 3. But this lets it spread out longer. So instead of having so many heights, so instead of having like so, oh dear, there. So instead of it going up and then it goes out, floor, it will go up. It will go up again. This will go out. That'll go out, floor. So I'm going to have 2. So we get rid of one of the things. So the supports will be here and here. We won't have this output here. So we gain one level, and possibly even technically less supports could go in there, couldn't they? Give me a moment to try and figure this one out. Welcome to the test world, where I'm testing out the overhang thing, and I'm confused because I want to obviously try and use these 6x1 overhangs to try and minimize the amount of overhang we need inside, but they don't work. They don't work. Not the way I call it. So if I go up here, so this is the old design. So it goes up by 3, and it goes out by 3, out by 3, out by 3, and then out by 3 and reaches the other one here. This is the new one. This one here. So it goes up by 3. It has a 1 support block instead of a 3. Then it has a 6 overhang with another 6 overhang on the end and connects out. Beautiful. However, because you're going out by 6, you want to only go over by 3 on this 6 one here. In these holes. Here. This one works because the 3x3x3 means that when you get to here, so you go up here, this one is going out by 2 and then out by 3. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, this is actually bigger than it should be. But yeah, it goes like this. Yeah, this is bigger than it should be. Hold on, let's remove that. There we go. That's better. That's why. So got the one hole. So that's fine. And then this one in the center here, this is using the new design, so it goes up by that way, and that connects fine because this one can compensate by taking up the slack. But where this new design and another one meets each other, there are these holes. We get 5 of them instead of 1, because here this is as far as I can go. I can't put any more dirt in. I can't add any more overhang here. So this is as far as it goes. It goes out to here. It doesn't come out to here. So it doesn't come out far enough. So I've tried it over here. This is all using the new design. All 3 of these pillars using the new design here. And you see, there's 5 holes here, there's 5 holes here. There'll be 5 here, there'll be 5 here. So I'm not really saving anything. We come to like this height here. So this height here, the first height, we've got 6 squares and we're only using 3. But we got 3 squares, we're only using 1. Let's just take one side of this. So 3 squares, we're going to be using 1 for the new design. You come up by 1, and yeah, you've got more of an overhang here, which means you can't put so much stuff in underneath it because this overhang actually is supporting more. And then you go up again, and you end up with that gap there because it just can't do enough. So either I'm missing something in my interpretation of what of how people in the comments have been saying I could do the overhangs, or it just doesn't work the way you think because I can't overhang it that far. So the only way I could get away with it would be to do like the outside pillars be the 6x1 overhangs, and then the internal 4 pillars be the old design, be this 3-3-3 out, and then it would end up the same. We'd end up with that there, which means we get a little bit more space in most places. But to be honest with you, 3 high is enough for pretty much any building to go into. It's not a problem at all. And you can also, as I've just shown there, we could extend this out here if we wanted to at this height, at height 4, and even cap the hole. There wouldn't even be a hole above, so we wouldn't have them 16 holes around the outside. We could absolutely do that. In fact, you can do that by literally just adding 1 piece of dirt there, and then I can fill that hole in. So yeah, that's all I need to do on each one, is just add 1 piece of dirt around the outside, and then the 16 holes around the outside, or the however many holes it was around the outside, don't even need to be there. We could have a solid ground and just have the 4 holes in the center for the tubes going down. So yeah, I don't really feel like it's saving any space, to be honest with you. I mean, this is, you need more on this layer than you do for this one to make it up, but then you lose less on this one here. So yeah, I don't know. I must be missing something. This one, oh, we can add a little bit here. Oh, what can we add here? Does that, no, that still won't let me add anything here. So I can add a little bit there on those ones. And that one there as well. So that's there. And I can't add anything on this side. I can't add anything on this side, here or here. Nope. I can't add any more dirt to the side of that, but I still can't fill these holes in. So yeah, and I think this is, yeah, this is full as far as it will go. So you can see there's a gap here, and it just doesn't, you can't fill these holes in. So we'd end up with even more holes on the surface above, which wouldn't really work for us. So if I'm missing something with this, the overhang thing, let me know, because obviously it's not working the way intended. But I'm just going to go back to doing this overhang here. It works. It works, and it works. Yeah, that's my defense. This one works, whereas the 6x1 overhangs don't. Okay, so back in the real world, we as I just mentioned before, we have, so the top floor is 2 thick, whereas all the other floors are going to be 1 thick, which means they're going to have this whole system in them. However, as I've just pointed out, we could come down here, literally add a piece of dirt to there, and then I can fill this hole in. But it won't let me do it because I need to build that piece of dirt first there. But once that built dirt is filled, we could then fill this hole in here. So we wouldn't need these holes around the outside. We just need the floor in the center, which actually is pretty good. I could have, like, the center columns do this. Just for, I mean, we can't really do anything up here anyway with the height of them. So we could literally just do this and fill in the holes. But I could literally just put 1 in. There, I'm putting 2 in because it looks better, and then we can fill in these holes here once those bits of dirt are put in. If they could even get to them, I don't think they can, because I think it's too far away from the district. We'd have to build some supports to get up to them, but we could put those in, and then the dirt can be supported here. The only reason we have the holes is because I chose to use as little dirt as I could to make the connections, which messes it up. But as I said, we could just add that there to it to make this the center for platforms thicker, and then that hole would be filled. So yeah, it's kind of a choice. It doesn't really matter for this floor, so yeah, doesn't really matter for this floor because this has a double floor thickness anyway, so it doesn't matter. But the floor below will do, because otherwise we're going to have 16 holes in our food, which it isn't a problem because we have plenty of food anyway. But yeah, I might just leave the holes in there because it's always going to be food around the outside, so we don't have to particularly worry about it. Losing a little bit doesn't matter. Maybe around this point here though it might matter, because we're going to do something with well, there won't be a hole here anyway, but yeah. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm going to go down to the ground floor, and I think I'm going to build the basement, the very lowest basement level, to the standard spec that we have for this one up here. And if someone can tell me what I'm doing wrong or what I'm missing with these overhangs, then we can do it there. One thing I don't want to be doing is putting overhangs in and then putting metal platforms on top of them and stuff. I just don't. That's overly complicating things. That's not. I don't want to do that. I don't want to. It's just. It's not. It's like you put platforms in, then put the metal platforms on top of them, then put dirt on top of that, and then you've got a 3 thick infrastructure, which we have anyway. So why would I complicate it with all this extra stuff when I could just leave dirt in place? So yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that with that there, because you could put a platform in and then put the metal overhangs on top of the platform to create the width, which you could then put dirt on top of. And yes, you could do it, but to save what? To save, instead of this being 3, it'd be 1, because then we can't you can't build underneath the 6x1s anyway, so there might as well be a 6x1 solid platform poking out on this hole here. So I'd save 2, 4, 6 tiles per one. Is it worth it? No, it's not. We'll just use the dirt, it's easier. So okay, then we go down here and then build this out here. So we want to come up to the highest point, which is here, and then I just want to go around and build well, do everything we want to do, and then blow down by 2, and then do everything we want to do, and then you've seen the process. So let me do this here, and here we are. Here's the pattern, nice and easy. It's a bit broken down here because I've already taken out some stuff underneath here, so this is going to be awkward to do, but we can sort that out later. I've also chosen the 4 pillars here to make them larger, to accommodate not having holes above. So yeah, we can do that. I don't have to be like this, but I just wanted to, we could literally just have a couple of little dots here and there to do it. But oh no, we lose a little bit of height on the 6th tile, 7th tile up, whatever it is, 6th, 5th tile up, which is only really going to ever affect putting in storages. So yeah, I'm not bothered about that at all. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So we'll have to let the beavers do this and get around and do all the bits and pieces for that. We do have the explosive factories running. We have planks running. We have everything running. Everything's running. Everything is fine. Everything is beautiful. So yeah, we don't need planks. So I'm going to let them plant the oak trees first and then switch over to doing the pine. So that'll be going there. Our population is going to dwindle because we have to wait so long for the berries to start running. Oh, there's also a drought approaching. Oh yeah. No, I haven't paused the game since I reloaded it. But yeah, so we've got to wait for that to dwindle out for a little bit, which is a little bit awkward, but nah. And I should probably get rid of these builders, shouldn't I? Let's move the builders down. Can we put the builders down here somewhere? The answer is no. No, there's nowhere we can put builders. We don't have the space for them. Maybe if I'd moved these over, we could have done that, but I didn't. So we don't. Okay. They can stay on the surface for the minute, then we'll have to just plant the berry bushes when we move them later, which will be fine. Okay, and then we'll get to the water in the next one as well, so yeah, shouldn't be a problem. We've got 5 pumps. 5 pumps are doing well for the water. We have no wood left, so we've got to wait for the oak to all be planted and harvested before we can start building that bottom piece anyway. So I'm going to have to let the game run for a long time to do its thing. And yeah. Okay, the other thing that I may have messed up on is we don't have enough dirt to do this down here, which means we may not have enough to get the engine going to get more dirt to yeah, this will be fine. We'll figure this one out. Even if we have to temporarily put something else in here for this. Let's make this a high priority so they actually come and do this before anything else. But I suppose we're just going to wait for the logs to be grown. That's what it boils down to. Wait for the logs. Yeah. So we'll leave this one here. We shall come back next time and we shall carry on from there. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed this one. I do hope to see you again in the next one. And until then, as always, have fun.